3 women, 3 stories. One picked up a paintbrush in her 70s. One tied her shoes at 67 and walked into history. One cooked her way onto television at 50. They weren't late. They were right on time. Hello, I'm Mitch from Sketches of a Journey. I started painting late, in my 60s, after a life full of adventure and full of stuff. And ever since, I've been fascinated by women who began again later. Today, I want to share these 3 stories of creative reinvention with you about women who remind us there is no deadline on becoming fully ourselves. Grandma Moses, Emma Greenwood, and Julia Child. Let's talk about Grandma Moses, a beautiful aged lady, a renowned artist. She was a farm wife. She lived in rural New York and only began painting late in her 70s, and only because arthritis made it very difficult for her to embroider. She had no formal training, and she painted what she knew. She painted the hills, she painted her total environment, she painted the snow falling, she painted beautiful things, and she painted the world that she loved, and the world fell in love with her. By her 80s, her work was hanging in galleries. By her 90s, she'd become a household name. She once said, "Life is what you make of it. It always was, and it's always going to be that way." She made her life and her art matter. Right when others would have expected her to stop, she carried on and on. Next is Emma Gatewood, also known as Grandma Gatewood. At the age of 67, she told her children she was going for a walk. After hanging washing on the line, I think she got to a point where she just thought, enough is enough. Then she hiked the entire Appalachian Mountains trail, all on her own. No modern gear, no sponsors, just a will of steel and a love of nature. She became the first woman to hike the 2,000 miles trail solo, inspiring generations of women to seek adventure, to be bold, and no matter what their age. She reinvented herself, not with a paintbrush, but with a determined step. Her courage was limitless. If you've not read the book, please do. And then there is Julia Child. Didn't we just love that movie? Wasn't Meryl Streep just so beautiful in the role? She didn't start cooking professionally until her late 40s, and she published her first cookbook at the age of 60. She became a TV icon in her 70s, with a voice and style all of her own. Julia wasn't polished, she was real. She made mistakes in front of the camera constantly, but she laughed through them. And because of her, generations of women learned to be bold, not just in the kitchen, but in life. She once said, "Find something that you're passionate about and keep tremendously interested in it." She did, and it changed her life forever. Each of these women started at the age when we all think it's time to be winding down. They began again with no guarantees, no roadmap, and yet they bloomed. These stories remind me, and maybe you, that there is no expiry date to passion or purpose. Sometimes the second act is the one that we truly find our voice. Maybe you're standing at the edge of your own beginning. Maybe your art, maybe your walk, maybe your passion is still waiting. If so, I hope that you take the plunge and the first step. Which of these women inspired you the most? I know which one inspired me very much. Or do you have your own late bloomer story that you would like to share? I would truly love to hear your story, and I know my followers would love to hear your story as well. Leave us a comment below, please. And if you'd like to see more of these stories of encouragement and creative souls like us, do subscribe to Sketches of a Journey, because around here, we believe it's absolutely never too late.